What's good, YouTube? Man of Steel here, and the new ALOLAN NINETALES Drop Event is here, and as always, I'm here to give y'all what I believe is the most efficient way to maximize your stamina. But before we begin, I want to ask y'all to consider dropping a like and subscribing, as we're getting closer to 500, and I can't express how much I appreciate all the support. With that said, let's start by looking at the promos of this event. As you can see, I have all 5 listed right here. The set is made up of 3 alternate arts as well as 2 promo exclusives. The main draw is definitely the amazing, right here, as you can see right there, or actually everywhere. It's all over my screen right now. The amazing ALOLAN NINETALES art, as pairs perfectly with the Vulpix. And honestly, I know it's not meta relevant, but as far as the collectors go, this is one of the nicest arts that I've seen, especially from one of these drop events. Although I feel like they keep one-upping when it comes to this style, right? Like the altar, like the 1-star rarity. Although it's still a promo, it's considered a promo, not a 1-star. It's using the 1-star like layout. I believe like they barely miss with these. It always looks nice. It's when they do like the EX promos that it's kind of like hit or miss. It almost looks like they like copy and paste the art, but that's nor here nor there. That's not what we're talking about. So yeah, the main draw is definitely the ALOLAN NINETALES, but regardless, we also have 2 promo exclusives, which is the ALOLAN Grimer and the Toucannon. And out of the 2, I'm definitely more excited for the ALOLAN Grimer because it's definitely an improvement on like the option we had before. The current option is like 2 energy does 30 damage, which is like almost like the same if you think about, like, obviously like turn 1 you poison, and then it's like they take 10, and then you pass. So in the same amount of time, you're doing the same amount of damage. But most of these poison decks want to deal poison early and then feed off of that. So honestly, it's definitely an improvement. Does it make ALOLAN Muck meta relevant? No, but I guess it's like anything is better than what we have now. The second one is Toucannon, which on paper it is a better card because it does for 2 energy, it does 10 more damage and it potentially burns. However, I feel like it takes away from like what makes Toucannon like playable, which is the fact that you don't even have to like invest any amount of energy into it. You just cheat it out with rare candy and then swing for 70, usually just to knock out Oricorio. That's like the main purpose Toucannon has in like the current meta for the decks that are playing it. Realistically though, none of the 5 cards that are here are really meta relevant, but as a collector, you know, at least and in my personal opinion, I need to have all of them no matter what. With that said, the last 2 are an Executor and Crabrawler, which is just alternate arts. They have the exact same attack and effects as the ones in Celestial Guardian, but as mentioned, as a collector, I need to see that promo list completely filled up. It's just a thing out of fiend, right? Now that we know what we're playing for, let's look at the challenge itself. And looking here, as you can see, we have as from recording date, we have 10 days to do as many times as possible. And before I get into anything, I want to emphasize, use all your stamina on expert. That's the only difficulty that guarantees you a pack once you start beating it after the first loop. However, I already went through this, so if you were to just start right now, you're like, oh, the drop event's here, I didn't know, and you click on it, you'll see that the only thing you have available is beginner, so you'd have to beat everything at least once. So, but the good thing is that once again they followed it up where every single stage guarantees you a pack the first time you beat it. As you can see here, if you go to first time rewards, it'll give you 2 hourglasses, the pack, and a shop ticket. That's guaranteed just by beating it once. Ideally, you want to cover all of these tasks on the first try. As you can see, it's beat with 1 medal. There's no restriction to beginner or intermediate on the 3 diamonds or less. So I will have a list that's 3 diamonds or less to beat, but let's say you have a Solgaleo list or like a Nose Pass or Tinka Tonk or whatever it's called. Like if you have one of those lists that you have fun with or whatever, feel free to use it, as it will work perfectly fine for these first 2, especially since it requires to play down basics. Full transparency, I did not test at the time if fossils count for the basics. I used Solgaleo to get through the first 2, but basics should count as basic. Fossils should count as basic as soon as you put them down, but just in case, don't quote me on that. But so yeah, it should work. Just make sure you beat all of these tasks on your first try, because you don't want to go back into these, and you want to collect the hourglasses from. Although these hourglasses are for the event, so whether you value them or not is up to you. For intermediate, the one advice I do have is that you need to put stage 1 into play for this task. So for this one, I would recommend grabbing the list I have and adding an extra. As you can see down here, it's not a surprise. As always, I have the chapters down below. So if you want to skip to the list, I just like to break down every part of it. So like if you're new, or if this is your first event, or if you just haven't done one of these events in a while, you have an idea of how it works. And so yeah, it's like a spoiler or nothing, but we're playing Bastiodon, and I should have named this or whatever, but for the intermediate, I would add a second Shieldon just so that it's easier or more consistent to find that stage 1 so that you finish that test on your first try. You really don't want to waste time on these. As always, first time around, you're guaranteed a pack. You actually get 4 hourglasses and a shop ticket for this one. Then advanced, once again, I'm so thankful that they removed the beat this 5 times, because using your stamina on advanced and not being guaranteed a pack always feels bad. But this is where they first introduce 3 diamonds or less, which is why the list that I use is going to be so good. Although, again, the list that I use works perfectly fine for all 4 levels. Although it's highly designed for the expert one. So it's, again, first time around, 6 hourglasses, 1 pack, whatever. And then the man of the hour, we got the expert one. As you can see, I still need to beat it a few more times. Like, that's the one test that I haven't finished. But the first time you beat it, you get 8 hourglasses, the free pack, and what matters most. And as you can see, there's the task of winning without losing a point. The good thing is that you have to beat it multiple times for like to get all the tasks. So just because in your first attempt you don't beat it without any points, my deck is designed to give you the best chance to beat it without losing any points. So although it might take like a few tries to actually achieve that goal, because sometimes you have to, like, Skarmory is gonna get knocked out or whatever, but you should be able to get it among, like, as you keep playing the event. But nonetheless, always play on expert, as it's the best way to get packs, because it's the only one that guarantees it. So hopefully that wasn't too wordy. You guys got an idea of like how the tasks work or what the main idea is. If I had to summarize all of it, is play 1 time around all the first 3, and then just farm expert, as that's the best way to get the packs. And what we're trying to play for anyways is these promos. As far as what we're going against, before I get into my list, let's go into their list. This is what they'll be playing. They'll be playing this basically Ninetales Crabominable. Well, it says it right here, right? It's in the title. But realistically, you're just playing against the crab. Ninetales never comes up. It takes too long for them to set it up. We're literally playing Skarmory, one of the most aggressive like cards in the game. Where if we had to go Skarmory versus Ninetales, we win it every time. There's actually attempts where I've gone second and they open Vulpix and pass, and I just go Skarmory, attach a tool, knockout, because they are weak to metal. Thus, we're hitting for 70 on turn 1. So yeah, that's one thing. Then they have, as far as supporters, this is one of the decks that has like the most like variety that I've seen, like the most like meta like idea. Basically, they have like so many one-ofs. They got 1 Sabrina, 1 Cyrus, the Leaf, Mars, Arida. There's not really much we could do to play around Mars. So although I guess ideally you want to respect it, I don't even know what mindset they use when they use it. It's similar to like the Solgaleo list that also had Mars. Like, I don't know when they use it or when they want to use it. Ideally or realistically, you just got to play out your hand and hope for the best. Like, if they use it, hope you don't break on the, or hope they fix your hand, whatever it is. As far as Sabrina and Cyrus doesn't really come up. As I mentioned, most of the time you're going to have a Skarmory up front fighting to the death, and then you follow it up with the Bastiodon. So Cyrus really doesn't come up. You never have something injured in the back. Sabrina does come up in the sense that you don't want to put, once they're at 2 points and you have Bastiodon up front, you don't want to put something else in the back line. Hold that fossil in your hand. Don't play that Skarmory, whatever it is, because they will Sabrina it out and like steal the game from you, and you don't want to like play into that. The Leaf comes up a lot because since they're not really one-shotting anything on your board, they're constantly trading like attacks. They will Leaf away like a damaged Crab or a damaged Ninetales or anything. So you can't really play around it. Just know that they will do it. Cape is their best way of not getting that situation where they literally pass and you win going second turn 1. The only way they prevent it was with Cape. But other than that, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, at the end of the day, the thing that we have to play around the most is Crabominable. And we built a deck that not only plays around Crabominable, it also makes it where we try to survive as much as possible for that one task of winning without giving them any points. So without further ado, let's look at the list that we'll be playing. As you can see here, this is the deck we'll be using for this event. We have the card by card is 2 Skarmory, 1 Shieldon, 2 Bastiodon, 2 Potion, 2 Rare Candy, 1 Pokeball, 2 Armor Fossil, 1 Giant Cape, 2 Helmet, 2 Research, 1 Iono, 2 Sabrina. This is pretty straightforward on what the plan is. Obviously, you lead Skarmory, try to do as much damage as possible, and then eventually you're building up Bastiodon. Ideally, you want to open fossils. There's no way to guarantee the fossil, which is why we play. The reason I play Pokeball, there was attempts where I was doing with no Pokeball, but since like if you don't see a second Skarmory or a fossil or something to back up the Skarmory, Skarmory does a lot of damage and could even like 1v1 the Crab at its best with like a Rocky Helmet. But it usually ends up like resulting in like they both knock each other out. But if you have nothing on the bench, you just lose, and you would hate to lose a game that you would win if all you needed was a Pokemon in the back, if that makes sense. So that's why I do play that one Pokeball to try to maximize the chances of having something in the back. But realistically, if you're able to build up Bastiodon, you just win the game. Because not only do you the most they could deal damage is the crab hitting for 80. So if you're flipping a coin and get heads, they can't do anything to you. And then they flip the coin and you get tails and they hit you for 80. That's why we play potion. Put the Bastion right back above the threshold of the 80 damage, and you start flipping coins again. Not to mention that by that point, once you swing twice, everything that they have on their board is also gone. The rare candies simply to evolve also into Bastion. The cape and 3, these are just like the best. Helmet is the best because it allows Skarmory to 1v1 the crab, and eventually, like, yes, they take the Skarmory with them, but you're taking the crab with you. So that's like the beauty of helmet. The cape more so works for like the stability of it's essentially like a third potion. As well as you just want something that lets Skarmory swing for 50, right? Research consistency, it's like staple. Iono is because we have no way of searching the fossil, so we rather just shuffle everything back and grab it again. And then the 2 Sabrinas is actually like the cute interaction that's like meant just to beat the crab. The crab swings for 40, and then every attack after that swings for 80. But if you are to Sabrina it back, it resets the clock. Technically, it swings for 40, you Sabrina it back, and they bring it back out, it swings for 40 again. And that's just for like longevity reasons. And like basically, if you have a Skarmory with a cape and they attack you with the crab one time, they'll put you down to 60, and you're able to Sabrina it back. Then your Skarmory lives another turn, basically. At least that's the idea. As well as just the more you can make the crab swing for 40, the more like your Bastion has like no threats whatsoever. To the point where you can even close out the game between Skarmory and Shieldon. You don't even need the Bastion. Ultimately, this list is perfect for this event. It works great. It meets the requirements of 3 damage or less. And honestly, I wish it was more consistent. Fossil decks tend to be a little like not like underwhelming when it comes to consistency. But trust me, there'll be games where you'll win and Skarmory is the only Pokemon you draw. You could win it if you go second. It's almost a guaranteed W as long as you see a tool. And there's not much to say about that other than if you have any like questions on how to play the deck. As always, I will have gameplay that follows up this breakdown, so at least you got a better idea of the sequencing that I use to either pilot the deck or how to beat the challenge. As always, I hope this video helps you complete the event. Remember, only play or only farm the expert difficulty. That's the only thing that guarantees you the pack. Best of luck on your pack pools. I hope you get a bunch of Ninetales. I hope you get a playset of every promo, or at least get every promo, whatever your goal is. I hope you get it. And above all else, stay pro. All right, we're going second. I kind of missed that. I was looking away, but we have a really good hand here. And we're honestly like a tool card away from like one-shotting and just winning everything. Going second is definitely much, like it's perfect. If you got to choose, you would choose second. As you see here, if we just see a tool card, this Vulpix is down. Let's grab the only other basic Pokemon in the deck. Go research here. A tool card. That's all we need. One tool card. No tool card, but it's fine. They do play Sabrina, so we'll kind of play defense there. Not as good as the turn as it could have been, and I guess that's like a reason. Like, oh, maybe I should have played. I should play 4 tools just to see more. But there's like certain cards that I thought were a little bit more important than that. Okay, Crabominable. Okay, well, at least now y'all see why we'll play Sabrina. Unless we see like the cards we need, right? Like if I don't see a potion or something, like there's no reason to Sabrina away the crab. All right, that makes our rare candies kind of useless, but at the same time, we could Iono. We could freely Iono here. We're hoping for Bastion, or we're hoping for a tool card. Mixed feelings on that one. Definitely start building this up. Going up to 60 is just not enough. Like yes, it's nice because we get to hit him for 50, but it doesn't really do enough. I think I'm just gonna hit for 40, let this Skarmory go, and then cape the follow-up Skarmory. Alright. Now we got 2 crabs to worry about. Well, we knew that was happening, so let's go Skarmory. Really hoping to draw Bastion. We have like ways to do it, right? Just like hard drawing it. I guess now the question is, do we just let this Skarmory go and just win off the Bastiodon? Or if we like play it correctly, it would be, yeah, let's the reason for Sabrina is that if you get the crab out of the way, even if they bring it back, it's once again only swinging for 40. That buys us time with the Skarmory play. The reason we don't put the fossil down anymore is because they do play Sabrina. So we don't want to be in a situation where we like lose the Skarmory and now we're like Bastiodon definitely walls the opponent, but then they just hit us with a Sabrina and knock out the fossil in the back. We don't want that to happen. So to avoid that completely, we're just not gonna put the fossil down. Alright, swing for 40. This is a situation where if we had another Sabrina, we do it again, and that way Skarmory survives yet another turn. Unfortunately, that's not the case for now, but I think as long as we let it go, we should be good from moving forward. They probably drew their like most aggressive hand, and we still managed to like take the W, right? And I might be speaking ahead of myself, but at most, well, we're gonna knock out this crab. So the next one's gonna swing for 40 if it hits, right? Putting us at 120. And that's where like the potions start like adding up and stuff. There was a list where I considered playing Adaman, but it just ended up being like a slower, like the fact that it only stops 20 damage. For some reason in my head when I was like trying to put it into the deck, I thought it was 30. Like for that, I'll just like if I wanted healing and a supporter, I would just play the Pokemon Center Lady, right? And from here is basically game. Interesting that they would attack with the Ninetales. I guess good thing they did because the Bastiodon was not in the mood to defend from the crab here. But that's the game. As always though, we do multiple examples, so this is just one example where honestly it could have ended a lot quicker had we just seen a tool for the Skarmory off the rip, but it's all good. Let's go to example number 2. Alright, perfect. I was like really hoping so that I don't have to, I was probably gonna like just concede until I got an example going first. Cause I feel like it's night and day. Like the difference between like it's still very doable. We still like look, this is a situation where we could win if they don't see Cape. Or like if they get too greedy. Let's go research. Not to mention that we have like a great hand right here. But look, we're just gonna go helmet on the Skarmory. This Crabrawler cannot attack without a cape, or it's just gone. That's like the beauty of like why we're playing. I guess that could also mean like maybe you want to play Barb instead of the cape, but cape allows like they have their own cape, so it nullifies everything that I was trying to explain. But nonetheless, what cape allows is for Skarmory to last even longer because we play cards like Sabrina and Potion to constantly like be switching stuff around. Let's go shield on here. Alright, so now we have an interesting play because we could technically go Sabrina and get rid of that Vulpix, but that's not in our best interest because honestly, the Ninetales is a joke. What we care about is this crab here. So we'll hit it for 50 in a way where even if they do evolve, we're at a pace where we like end up trading for each other. Granted, if they don't see a rider, right? If they heal, then it's gonna come down to the shield on in the background, in the back line. But we're okay with that as well. Technically, you could make a case for playing. Jesus, they just threw out their whole hand. At least we know that there's not much to be afraid of. And by the time that the crab knocks out Skarmory, we'll have the Shieldon ready to attack. Whether it's a Bastiodon or not is like irrelevant. I guess the reason to heal would be so that they don't get an easy knockout with the Crabrawler and they have to attack with Crabominable. But at the same time, I think we prefer that. Like if they want to do all of that, like by all means. Let's put the energy here. Yeah, let's not. If we had multiple healing, if we had 2 potions, then I would do the Sabrina play, but let's just do as much damage as possible and have the shield on in the back finish it out. That's like the best top deck they could have had. And either way, it won't matter. At least I don't believe it will. Okay, there goes Garmy, but it's fine. And 100% we are... Even if we see Bastion, we're not going to use it this turn. We have to guarantee to get this out the way. I guess we could put the Rocky Helmet on it. And next turn we'll probably Iono if we don't see Bastion just off the top. That's already 2 points. Basically, if we see Bastion next turn we win because of Sabrina to hit the crab in the back. Surprised they wouldn't just promote the Ninetales. Okay, there's Mars. That's rough. Unless we... Actually, yeah, because we only draw one card. What are the chances that it's... Yeah, no. Okay, interesting that they went Crab Roller, knowing that Ninetales could attack. I can't even say... Like, the first thing that came to mind is like, oh, this is why Mars and Red card are bad cards. But I'm constant... Like, I have completely, like, changed my approach. Like, at least my mentality on those cards. I'm a big believer in Mars, and I even started playing around with Red card in some of my lists, but... obviously in Master Rank and stuff like that. Actually, no. My video for Solgaleo had Red card in it as well. But, as you see, this drop event is pretty simple. Bastion is able to beat this in with the first 3 levels with lets you knock stuff out with a metal type. From Advanced and Expert, it allows you to beat it with all 3 diamonds or less. And honestly, it's probably the best deck to do it with if you're doing metal types. Another deck that I considered was like the Wormadam list, but it was a little too inconsistent, and if the crab starts swinging 80 a turn, it's a little hard to keep up with. So realistically, this should be the list that works the best. There was many iterations that I went through. I went heavy on the healing. I went heavy on just like trying to aggro it out. I went like double Iono Pokemon communications, and I felt a little too clunky. This way, you have enough of like a little bit of everything. The one Pokeball, there's even lists that where I wasn't playing Pokeball, but then I would like lose randomly when I just couldn't find a second Pokemon to put on the bench, which was rough. So ideally, this is the perfect way to do it. Honestly, these promos aren't like to die for, but they're very nice. Like the art on the Ninetales is great. The Alolan Grimer is probably a lot better. Actually, no, it is 100% better than the Alolan Grimer that we had previously. And I wonder if people will do stuff with the Toucannon, although I think the best Toucannon is still the one from the main set that attacks. As always, thank you for watching. If you got to this point of the video, please consider subscribing as we're so close to 500, and I appreciate every single one of y'all. Best of luck with your drop event pulls. Remember, always play an expert. That's the only way to guarantee the pack, and above all else, stay pro.